The art piece that I chose to look at is A Room Where It Always Rains. This work was done by the Madrid sculptor Juan Munoz and was officially inaugurated in 1992 for the Barcelona Olympics. This piece is a gazebo with 5 small human figures sitting in it. These figures are made out of iron and bronze, and they sit on top of a marble floor. They're surrounded by a cage. The art piece was originally meant to have a water recycling system in it that would allow for it to always be raining, and a system that would collect the leaves from the falling trees. Due to some technical difficulties and problems with the installation, the project to develop the water system was postponed. Munoz sadly died before they could ever get approval and finish the water system as well as the leaf collection system, so now it only rains based on the weather. The reason they couldn't continue with the building of the water collection system so that it could always rain is because they needed the official approval of the artist, but he died before he could give this approval. The 5 human figures within the cage are all sitting separately and facing in different directions. This is believed to signify the representation of individual isolation within a society. Although these sculptures are physically close, the facing away is meant to signify the distance that separates these people societally. There are many sculptures in the United States, where I'm from, and monuments that depict similar social separations and cultural divides, especially during the 1900s. The first and probably the biggest cultural divide that ever happened in America were during the 1900s and 1800s with Confederacy. If you travel through the south of the United States, you can still see many Confederate monuments and sculptures that are still standing and still treated as beautiful art pieces by some very terrible people. These art pieces represent the hatred and divide that African Americans had to suffer through during the 1900s. Many of these monuments still stand to this day, sadly, and they're a representation of the societal divide that happened all throughout the 18 and 1900s, and that sadly still happens in today's day and age. Another monument that shows the societal separation are pieces of the Berlin Wall. Although this is not an American monument, there are many pieces that can be found around the United States because it signifies a problem that also occurred in the United States. These segments signify the ideological separation between capitalism and communism, a separation that deeply affected both people in Berlin, Germany, around the world, and especially America. This is a different way of representing the same idea of social division and separation that is represented in A Room Where It Always Rains.